Stop bulking now and do this instead. I know they all say now is a bulking season. Now you have to bulk up to get bigger, get stronger, build more muscle. You need to eat more. You need to bulk up. Please don't bulk. I will show you what to do instead in this video. But first, let's talk why you shouldn't bulk up. Because it's fucking stupid. When you bulk, you get fat. You gain some muscle too, but it's not necessary. It's not necessary to gain fat with muscle. You can just get pure muscle with no fat. And that's what you should do. That's the optimal way to do it, because then if you gain muscle with fat after bulking, then you have to cut down this excess of fat, right? You don't want to stay that fat. You want to get eventually shredded. Everyone wants to. Because what is bulking? It's essentially eating way more calories, being on a surplus that is too high for your body. So the excess of these calories that you eat in a surplus, your body stores as body fat. And then this additional fat that you gain, eventually you have to cut, as we said before. And when you cut it, you will lose also a little bit of muscle that you've built. Unless you will go on a very long cut, like a fucking, very low calorie deficit, and you will be cutting for months or even years, depending on how much fat you gain, how much fat you have. But the problem with that, nobody fucking wants to get on a cut that is so slow. Nobody fucking wants to get on a really small deficit and like cut forever. Everyone wants to get shredded really fast, especially when winter is getting over, summer is approaching, you have more possibilities to show off your body. It's warmer, you don't want to carry that much fat, to not sweat that much and look like a piece of shit. So you basically want to get shredded faster. And the reason why people get on the bulk is because they want to get big and strong really fast. And yes, it helps. That's true that bulk can like help you to get like stronger faster, and maybe you can build a little bit more muscles in the short period of time. But this little bit more, as I said before, you will lose once you will get on the cut, because the cut will be fast. So what you should do instead is get super shredded to the point you are happy with your body fat, and keep this body fat forever. You basically stay shredded as you want to be for your entire life, forever. You don't gain any fat. Maybe if you gain a little bit of fat and you still like it, you can keep it. If you don't, you get back to lower body fat percentage. And once you are shredded, you just put on more muscle. And how do you do it? You don't bulk. You do something that is called main gaining. So you basically get on a small surplus that is just enough to build more muscle. Because the thing is, you don't need a huge surplus. Like, the bigger the surplus, the more fat you will gain. The more you will bulk up and basically gain more fat, too much fat. And to build muscle, you don't need a high surplus. You need only like around 100 calories above your maintenance to build muscle, to build like a pure lean muscle, right? With bulking, they typically get on a fucking 500 calorie surplus. So of course you're gonna gain fat eating that many calories. Me, when I was doing main gaining before, I did a mistake that I went too hard on my surplus. Like, the surplus was a bit too high. So first I started with 100 calories above my maintenance, then I went to 200, then 300, and when I was already eating 300 more above my maintenance, I noticed over time, after like around a month, the fat I gained, and I didn't like it at all. Like, I was like, my six-pack wasn't this sharp, my obliques were disappearing, I was not like looking that good. So then obviously I had to go back on a deficit, so below my maintenance, cut that shit down, get shredded again. I got super shredded, I got the most shred of my life, and then I never did that mistake again. I basically, whenever I was planning to be on a surplus, like main gaining, I was always on a small surplus, no more than 100, maybe 150 calories. So your body doesn't need so many calories above your maintenance. Your body only needs a little surplus of up to 100 to put on more muscle and stay lean, because that's the point. We only want to put on more muscle without the fat. If you put on fat, that's already bad, because then you bulk, you're getting fat, which only messes up your physique, and then it's only a headache when you have to cut it again. And another thing is that when you bulk, you build a really bad relationship with food. So you basically shock your body. You first eat a lot for a period of time, too much, right? And then when you have to cut it down, you get obviously on a crash diet to cut it down quickly, right? Because obviously you don't want to wait. You don't want to do it for months, years. You want to be shredded fast, especially for the summer, when summer comes. So then obviously you are shocking your body. You're going from, let's say, 4,000 or 5,000 calories to 2,500 a day. And it's like, you just like, your body feels that difference. Your hormones drop, you feel like shit, you have no energy, you are hungrier, because obviously your stomach is like more extended after all this food you were eating before, and now you have to get it used to less food, so it has to shrink, and it just makes you feel like shit all the time. I'm telling you from my personal experience. Whenever I was getting fat accidentally, I didn't plan to get fat, I was just experimenting with diet, my body, cutting was always a headache, always. I was like, oh fuck, now 6 weeks or fucking hell to cut down, to be happy with my body. For what? For a fast progress at the gym, for like fast boost of strength on squats, on deadlifts, on bench press, on biceps, to look big for a second, and be like the strongest ever. It's not worth it, I'm telling you. So please, never bulk again after watching this video. Just get shredded, or stay shredded if you are already shredded, and just get on a slight surplus. Track your food, figure out what's your maintenance, add 100 calories to that, and eat it like that, and focus on progressive overload at the gym. Always, think of improving, like progressing at the gym, get stronger, and keep your six-pack, keep your veins, keep your shreds, and over time, slowly you will see how you are putting more and more muscle. But don't rush it. Like, building muscle is not supposed to be fast. Bulking doesn't make it faster. It just makes it feel like it's faster, because you gain all this water weight and fat on top of the muscle, and you just think that you are getting muscle fast, but it's not muscle, it's just water and fat. So don't bulk, just get shredded and do it the right way, healthy way. And some people will say, oh, but lean bulk, I eat healthy. Doesn't matter if you eat healthy. I mean, obviously better to eat healthy than eat like unhealthy, do this dirty bulk, right? But if you eat still healthy but like too many calories, you will still gain fat regardless. And gaining too much fat is never healthy. You should be always shredded year round. I'm always shredded all year round. If I accidentally get a little bit out of shape, I immediately get back to my low body fat. Get on a deficit, immediately get shredded again. And I'm getting stronger every year. I'm getting bigger every year, obviously slowly, but that's what it's supposed to be. And I'm looking great all the time, every single month of the year. And you should too. I'm telling you, when you are shredded all the time, life is better. That's why I never want to get fat again, even a little bit. Even if I get to around 10% body fat, I already cut it down. And that's it, guys. This is why you should never bulk. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.